How is the completion and the construction of this dam going to transform, as the government often says, the lives of millions of Ethiopians? What's the significance and what is its direct impact on everyday Ethiopians?
For 54% of our people, they have access to electricity.
They do have access.
They do have access.
Yeah.
So we can take 46% is in deficit. That is what we want to reduce now in the coming 5 years. Our intention is by 2030, at least more than 90% of our nation should get access to electricity. That is how we are working upon that.
There have been recent remarks, rather repeated remarks from President Trump, saying that the US has financially supported the building and the construction of this dam. What is the truth? Because the understanding is that this has been built by the contribution from the government and from the people in Ethiopia.
With regard to the different comments from different parts of the world, people say, okay, this couldn't have been done unless there has been support from abroad, which is not true. It is purely by Ethiopians' money. It is by the public money that we could build GERD that we are celebrating today. For us, the amount of money the people are paying, what people are committing, the amount of money what the bank from Ethiopia is paid from the treasury, we believe that it is all Ethiopian people's investment, Ethiopian people's money.
There had been some criticisms from abroad, most notably from Egypt and to some extent from Sudan. So what they're saying is that the building of the dam is going to limit or restrict their water supplies. That's heavily dependent on the Nile water. And the second thing is, particularly after the water reservoir began to be filled, they said that Ethiopia has decided that unilaterally. What's the response from Ethiopia regarding these remarks?
When Ethiopia started to build the dam, the Egyptians, they know. They were part of it. The Sudanese, they were part of it. Ethiopia was ready to discuss with them that to prove that this dam will not harm them. They were part of that as well. There was international panel of experts who was assessing the status of the dam and the future challenge that it may pose in case if it was proved that it is at international level with appropriate quality with insignificant harm on our downstream side brothers countries. It is not only the proof of the international expert, but we had DOP, Declaration of Principle, which was some kind of agreement between Ethiopia, Sudan, and Egypt, which say Ethiopia can continue the dam while discussing with the downstream countries. That is purely written, black and white. So it is not to make us stop building, but we keep on building, but negotiating. Keep on building, but exchange information. Keep on building, but share ideas. Keep on building and come around the table for any concern that they can have.
There have been repeated rounds of negotiation with the two downstream countries, Egypt and Sudan, but these negotiations have collapsed. What's the reason behind that, and what's the future for any diplomatic engagement with the two countries?
Negotiation means it's a kind of win-win. If someone is really, they don't know negotiation itself, it will be difficult to proceed. So far, Ethiopia has been engaged in any dialogue related to GERD. The same will continue in the future. Currently, also, we are ready with anyone who is ready to talk about that. Unfortunately, it's the Egyptians who withdraw or who say we don't need negotiations just before 2 years. For the reason of saying making Ethiopia to sign a kind of agreement that will be forcing us to keep on the amount of water what they say we deserve. We believe this water is for everyone in Nile Basin. They are still sticking to the colonial days agreement, which is giving the whole right to Sudan and Egypt, ignoring upstream countries, which is unfair. No one can accept that.